first time I have ever been called the N-word in my entire life was here in Germany. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Chris checking in with another video. I hope you are doing well and off to an amazing start to your day. Happy Thursday. In this video, I am going to give you an update as I have been living in Munich, Germany for 3 years. And this video is pertaining to what it's like to be Black in Germany based on a request from one of my subscribers who is African American from Kentucky, and he wants to know about German stares. So I'm going to go into this video and give my perspective on how I've dealt with the stares in this country and what it's like to meander this country as a person of color, particularly Black person in Munich, Germany as an American citizen. If you like videos like this, and if this is your first time watching a video on my channel, my name is Chris. I come from Michigan, and on this channel I talk about everything. I talk about Germany, I talk about China, I talk about the US, I talk about polyglottery. I'm a polyglot. I speak 6 languages. I love culture, and I also often do culture exchanges and reviews on culture. So if you find these type of videos interesting, please consider hitting the subscribe button, activating the notification button so that you know when I post videos, which is usually every Tuesday. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss content. Okay guys, so I got the comment and it goes as follows. So this is from D. Cortez, I think. It says, Murphy, I am a Black male from Kentucky who will be moving to Germany this year. I've seen Black American men on YouTube saying people in Germany, especially German women, stare at them and can tell that they aren't from Germany. How can Germans tell you're not from there besides you being Black? Aren't there Africans in Germany too? What's been your experience? Well, thank you so much for your comment. I really appreciate it, and it opens up an interesting discussion about German stares, right? With regards to if men stare at me more than women stare at me, I can't really answer this question, and I honestly haven't really paid attention because I just think honestly I'm being stared at, so I can't really go into the specifics of if it's gender based. But what I can say is being an African American here, I have experienced stares, and sometimes the stares have actually made me feel really uncomfortable. A prime example that I like to talk about often in my private group of my friends, and I never shared this on Facebook actually, is that although I speak fluent German, I would say now, and I've been living in Germany for 3 years, the stares that Germans have at you kind of make me feel really uncomfortable. Now, granted, my subscribers have told me in multiple videos that staring is just a cultural thing in Germany, you know, and people stare, but they stare like this. In the mountains, on the bus, on the S-Bahn, everywhere. And so sometimes when I'm in the city and I want to try a new place, these stares have actually discouraged me from walking into restaurants, because let's just say there's a coffee shop that's open and then just people sitting outside, terrace style, Parisian style, you know, you have the terrace which is coming down and the seats are sitting in front, and it opens up a door for basically people watching. You have a group of people who I'm assuming are German look at you like this as you come in. Sometimes these stares make me feel really, really uncomfortable. And one way that I go about addressing this uncomfortable feeling is try to think about how I feel when I walk down the street. I live in a big city, Munich, so if people are less likely to talk to you, just spark up a conversation with small talk with you here in Munich than they are in other areas of Germany, especially, for example, the Bavarian villages. So in practice, when you're walking down the street, people, they don't even look at you sometimes, they don't greet you. And sometimes you have to take this methodology and be that person when people are staring at you like this. Be that person. You are a customer just like everybody else. You are spending your hard-earned money. Enjoy. Be in your own world. And I think living in Germany has kind of taught me to be in my own world and to really focus more on what I'm doing and less on what other people are doing. Sometimes the stares are really intense though, and I actually want to ask Germans, and maybe you guys can help me answer this question. What is it that you expect us to say in these type of circumstances? For example, when we are being stared at by Germans. If it is true, in fact, that this is German culture and that this is something that is natural, how is it then would you like us to respond to being stared at like this? Should we initiate a conversation? Should we ask, what are you looking at? What will be the perfect response to engage you, I guess, in the conversation? Because I haven't figured it out yet. In regards to your second question about if people can tell if I'm African or not, when I first got here in Munich, Germany, I made a video about someone speaking to me and asking me if I was a Flüchtlinge, I think that's how you say refugee in German. People would think that I am a refugee, probably because their understanding of the Black diaspora, particularly speaking here in Munich, Germany, I think is probably embryonic. I know Nigerians, I know Ugandans, I know Ghanaians, I know Cameroonians who live here, and I just happen to come from the United States. But I was asked one time, like, bist du ein Flüchtlinge? And then I said, no, I'm not a refugee. I came from the United States. I'm from the United States, and I lived in China, and I'm here. And then the immediate response was, oh, wow, I love America. America is an amazing country, yada, yada, yada. You know, that's really good that you're from America. What state are you from? And then what was really interesting is that we walked away from this refugee comment. It went from asking me if I'm a refugee and being inquisitive about me being a refugee and presupposing that because I'm Black that I somehow have to be a refugee, to having a discussion and praising me from having an American passport and coming from America, and completely switching the conversation. Now, I have talked to some of my other African friends who have also been asked if they're a refugee, and when they say that they're a refugee, the responses that they get sometimes have been quite aggressive and have been very unpleasant. So I can only imagine myself in these type of circumstances if I were to say yes. Now, in terms of when I speak German, maybe I have an American accent. Maybe people can gauge my citizenship from the way that I speak German. Maybe I have an American accent. Maybe it's the way that I walk. Maybe it's the way that I talk. Perhaps that's how people can tell. But me personally, I can't even tell sometimes when I'm walking down the street and I see another person who is Black, right? I mean, the only difference between us is, in many cases, is our passports. I mean, there's certain things that I can see and tell. For example, that, okay, this person is probably from Africa, but you know, I can't really tell. But overall, to answer your question, my experience in Germany as a African American, a descendant from Africa, has been very pleasant. I have felt very safe here. I have felt welcomed. But unfortunately, I have experienced racism. The first time I have ever been called the N-word in my entire life was here in Germany, not far from where I live. Someone was riding a bike, this older German man riding his bike, and as he passed by, he called me the N-word. Now, I have lived all over the world. I have lived in America, I have lived in Germany, I have lived in China, I've lived in Mexico. And it wasn't until I came to Germany that someone called me the N-word. And I was shocked. I was really shocked. I didn't know how to respond, of course, because I didn't expect that from people in Germany. I just didn't even think that was a thing that, you know, people would use that type of vocabulary in Germany. But it happened to me, and I spoke to a few friends about it, and yeah, it was a rude awakening for me. So that doesn't go to say that there is no racism and that you may not be subject to it, but in my case, as a person here in Germany, a Black person here in Germany, my overall experience has been positive. I've gotten questions that, for example, people, before I even open my mouth and speak German, older people will look at me and ask me, in deinem Land gibt es schönes Wetter? So, in your country, is there nice weather? Before asking me if I'm from Germany. So they're essentially presupposing that I am not from Germany based off how I look, and asking me how the weather is in my country. I would never get offended by these questions, because in reality, I am from another country. I am from the US. So I said, yeah, in meinem Land ist es kalt. Es ist kalt wie hier in Deutschland. It's cold like here in Germany because I come from Michigan. But I have friends who are Black and are from Germany. Just imagine if they were born and raised here, they know no other land but Germany, and they were being asked these type of questions. I wonder how they would feel. Just imagine being asked these questions. But yeah, those are my 2 cents on it. I hope I answered your question. But yeah, so overall, I think you coming to Germany this year, welcome to Germany. Germany is a wonderful place. You're gonna have an amazing time. Germany welcomes you with open arms. I welcome you with open arms. Overall, I have had a very pleasant experience here in Germany. Again, it's not been peaches and roses. The stares, you know, the interactions that I had sometimes with people who don't understand me because of how I look have been frustrating, but they're manageable experiences. Just focus on doing you, don't focus on what everybody else is doing. Learn German, grow and integrate yourself into society as much as possible, and always try to make the best out of any crappy situation that you may be confronted with. Again, so let me reiterate the question. Germans, how should we foreigners respond to being stared at? What should we respond to? Like, what do you expect from us if that is an accepted cultural thing here? How should foreigners interpret that, you staring at us? Is it that you're curious? Are you, overextending an invitation to stare back? What should we do as foreigners, as guests in your country when we're being stared at? Let me know in the comment section below. Comment, like, subscribe, share this video if you care, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.